Ever been in a situation where you felt like a puppet, dancing to someone else's tune? Welcome to the complex world of manipulation, a game of shadows where one person pulls the strings and another dances unknowingly. It's a form of emotional abuse that can often be so subtle, so insidious, that you might not even realize it's happening. Manipulators are adept at understanding and exploiting human emotions. They use tactics that are psychologically and emotionally complex, influencing your decisions, swaying your actions, all while remaining hidden in the shadows. These tactics can leave you questioning your own sanity, your own reality. But by learning to recognize these signs, you can begin to step out of the shadows to take back control. So are you ready to uncover the tactics of a skilled manipulator? Today we delve into the 10 telltale signs of manipulation. Sign number 1, gaslighting. This is a subtle and sinister form of manipulation, designed to make you question your own perceptions, memories, and even sanity. Imagine you recall a conversation one way, but the other person insists it happened differently, making you feel as though you're losing your grip on reality. That's gaslighting. It's a gradual process that slowly erodes your confidence in your own experiences and judgment. Over time, this can lead to significant psychological distress, including feelings of confusion, anxiety, and depression. The victim may start to second-guess every decision they make, fearing they're going mad. It's a dangerous game, where the manipulator holds the reins of your reality. The key to countering gaslighting is to trust yourself. Believe in your memories, your feelings, your perceptions. They are your truth. Remember, trust your instincts and your experiences. They are valid. Second sign, love bombing. This is a cunning form of manipulation that's sugar-coated with affection and attention. It's a whirlwind of praise, flattery, and grand gestures, making you feel like you're the center of the universe. But don't be fooled. This is not about genuine affection. It's a calculated tactic designed to gain your trust and loyalty, fast. The manipulator floods you with love and kindness, creating a powerful emotional bond. They make you feel special, seen, and valued. But once they have you hooked, the tide changes. The affection may wane, the attention may dwindle, and subtle forms of control may creep in. The goal? To manipulate you more subtly, now that they've earned your trust. So remember, if the affection feels too intense too soon, it might not be a fairy tale romance. It might be a manipulator's ploy. Beware of the sudden shower of affection. It might be the calm before the storm. Third sign, excessive charm and flattery. Manipulators can master the art of charm, wielding it like a double-edged sword. On one hand, charm can be a delightful attribute, making conversations enjoyable and interactions memorable. But when used excessively or insincerely, it can serve as a cloak for hidden agendas. Flattery, too, can be a powerful tool in the arsenal of a manipulator. Compliments can make us feel good, boosting our self-esteem and brightening our day. But when they're deployed with a frequency that feels unnatural, or when they seem to serve no purpose other than to butter you up, it's time to be cautious. Manipulators use charm and flattery to gain favor, to create a false sense of security and to manipulate emotions. They use these tactics to win your trust, to make you feel special, and ultimately, to control your actions or reactions. Remember, sincerity is key. False flattery often has ulterior motives. Fourth and fifth signs, emotional blackmail and guilt tripping. Diving into the world of manipulation, we encounter two more tactics, often used in tandem to exert control: emotional blackmail and guilt tripping. Both involve a manipulator using a person's feelings as a tool to manipulate their actions or decisions. Let's start with emotional blackmail. This is a manipulative tactic where threats, either implicit or explicit, are used to control your emotions or actions. Picture this: a friend saying, "If you don't lend me money, our friendship is over." The threat here is the end of a friendship, a potential emotional loss, used to pressure you into complying with a demand. In a more drastic scenario, a person might even threaten to harm themselves if you don't comply with their wishes. This is a clear case of emotional blackmail, where one's concern for the manipulator's well-being is exploited to manipulate their actions. This is a deeply toxic and harmful form of manipulation that can lead to emotional distress and damage. Moving on to guilt tripping, this is where the manipulator makes you feel guilty for not behaving in the way they want you to. They might say something like, "After all I've done for you, you can't even do this one thing for me." Here, the manipulator is making you feel guilty for not reciprocating a perceived favor, thereby manipulating you into doing what they want. Blame shifting is another form of guilt tripping. In this case, the manipulator makes you feel responsible for their actions or feelings. For example, they might say, "You made me angry," or "I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't." The goal is to make you feel guilty and responsible for their behavior, shifting the blame from themselves to you. These tactics, emotional blackmail and guilt tripping, are powerful tools in a manipulator's arsenal. They play on your feelings of guilt, obligation, and fear, manipulating you into acting against your better judgment. No one should wield your emotions against you. Stand firm against such tactics. Signs 6 to 8, aggression, constant need for validation, and overstepping boundaries. Let's delve into the realm of aggressive behavior, the insatiable desire for validation, and the blatant disregard for personal boundaries, all classic maneuvers in the manipulator's playbook. Aggression can take many forms, from overt hostility to subtle passive-aggressive undertones. It's not always about raised voices or fiery confrontations. Sometimes it's a cold shoulder, a snide remark, or a sarcastic comment that stings just enough to leave a mark. The goal? To make you feel guilty for not complying with their wishes, to create a sense of fear and uncertainty, to keep you walking on eggshells. And let's not forget, aggression is often a tool to divert attention from their own shortcomings. Next up, the constant craving for validation. Manipulative individuals often seek approval like oxygen, creating a dynamic where your attention and validation become their primary objective. They may play the victim, exaggerate their achievements, or fish for compliments. They want to feel important, superior, and in control. They're not looking for genuine connection or understanding. They're looking for a mirror to reflect their own perceived greatness. And finally, overstepping boundaries. A manipulator may push you into doing things you're not comfortable with under the guise of knowing what's best for you. They might invade your personal space, disregard your feelings, or make demands that cross the line. They're masters at justifying their actions, twisting the narrative to make you feel like you're the one being unreasonable. They don't respect your boundaries because in their world, their needs and wants take precedence. These signs are not just red flags. They're blazing bonfires warning you of the danger ahead. Remember, aggression, constant need for validation, and boundary violations are not signs of love, care, or respect. They're tactics used by manipulators to control and dominate. Your feelings, validation, and boundaries matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The final two signs, constant criticism and isolation. Manipulators often employ a relentless barrage of criticism, aiming to erode your self-esteem and confidence. This continuous negativity can leave you doubting your abilities, making you more susceptible to their influence. Instead of feeling uplifted and supported, you might find yourself feeling inadequate and constantly on edge. On the other hand, isolation is a more insidious tactic. Manipulators may subtly influence you to distance yourself from friends, family, or anyone who could provide an outside perspective. By isolating you, they gain more control over your worldview, making you more dependent on them for social interaction and validation. It's like being in a bubble where the manipulator controls the narrative. It's crucial to recognize these tactics for what they are, strategies of manipulation. Remember, constructive criticism is different from constant criticism, and solitude is different from isolation. Recognizing manipulation is the first step to resisting it. As we've explored, there are 10 key signs to look out for. From gaslighting, making you question your own reality, to love bombing, an intense show of affection to gain your trust. There's also the excessive charm, the emotional blackmail, and the blame shifting, all designed to control you. Don't forget the overly aggressive or passive-aggressive behavior, the constant need for validation, and the blatant disregard for your boundaries. Then there's the constant criticism and the isolation from your loved ones. These are all red flags that signal manipulation. Understanding these signs is vital. If you notice them, it's essential to seek help. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or professional counselors. You don't have to face this alone. You have the power to resist manipulation. Stand tall, stay strong, and remember, you're not alone.